Super God Gene. Chapter 101. Every year during the contest, there was a lot of special programs that covered different matches. Although Contest Center was just a new program, it was produced by Washing Station, which was a prominent TV station. With a celebrity host Fang Mingquan, the program had good ratings and was among top 100 in the alliance. Top 100 may sound less than impressive, but was in fact an amazing achievement. In the entire alliance, each planet had tens of thousands of programs, many of which were from the authority. It was quite something to stand out and be among top 100. And of course, during the contest, a program focusing on the contest itself would naturally have higher ratings. On this day, the content of Contest Center caused an uproar in the alliance. Fang Mingquan had introduced and analyzed Dollar's current situation and predicted that this year Dollar would become the final champion, which had led to outspread outrage. Fang Mingquan is a retard. Look at Dollar's performance, how can he win? We know that you are famous because of Dollar's video. But there is no need to kiss Dollar's ass like this. Rubbish. If Dollar is the champion, I will live broadcast myself eating *#tea. What do you think of Yi Dongmu if you think Dollar could win? Ha. Fang Mingquan is so dumb. Dollar will meet Yi Dongmu before he gets to top 10. He'd be lucky to survive. To win, LMAO, my Tang Junliu would never let him. My Lin Feng would never let him. Stupid. Although I also like Dollar, he didn't do that well in the contest so far. Fang Mingquan, you are too subjective about this. I can't even watch this stuff and I am a fan of Dollar's. You call yourself a fan? Go be other people's fan, please. Dollar is nothing compared to Yi. Yi must win. Dollar little angel, I will always support you. Ellipsis. Contest Center and Fang Mingquan had been made a hit by all the criticism. Many peers were satirical about Fang's grandstanding, too. Some even asked him to quit journalism. Except for a few hardcore fans of Dollar, all comments on Fang was negative. Even many Dollar's fans thought Fang's report was over the top and didn't dare to support him. Fang, I'm sorry you were wronged. In the conference room of Washing Station, Shu Kangnian grinned from ear to ear. Although Contest Center and Fang Mingquan were severely criticized, the ratings had risen a lot, sending the show in top 50. A large number of other contestants' fans flooded into Contest Center, especially those who supported Yi Dongmu, this year's dark horse who would encounter Dollar before becoming the chosen. The Skynet community of the show had almost burst. Although it was only top 50, for Washing Station it was a great achievement. There had been less than a handful of shows that could accomplish this in the station's history. Therefore, Shu Kangnian was quite pleased with what Fang Mingquan had done and Wang Changqing was naturally upset. He didn't know that Fang Mingquan would try to improve the ratings this way. This is just my job. I have Director Shu to thank for my achievement. Fang Mingquan said modestly, flattering Shu at the same time. Shu Kangnian was even happier and patted Fang Mingquan on the shoulder. Fang, keep talking about Dollar and the stronger you say he is the better. If everything goes well, we might have even higher ratings and could break our record. Please rest assured that I will do my best. Fang Mingquan did not think it was grandstanding as he sincerely believed Dollar would win. However, others didn't see it that way. Fortunately, the result was good anyway. For a journalist, criticism was not always a bad thing. Shu Kangnian praised Fang Mingquan some more. After the meeting was over and Shu had left, Wang Changqing said coldly, "You are ignoring the facts for fame. You might be popular now but the reputation of the program would be ruined by you. Which station would hire you in the future?" Shu's compliment means nothing. You think you can get away with it when he finds out the show was discredited. Of course, Fang Mingquan understood that as well. Someone had to take the fall when the fad passed. He himself would be that someone in this case. Shu was just trying to keep him on board now to raise the ratings. Fang had been in this industry long enough to know that. Smiling, Fang Mingquan looked at Wang Changqing and asked, "What if Dollar really wins?" Wang Changqing paused. If Dollar really wins, then Contest Center would become famous for real and Fang Mingquan's name would become a household name. Shu Kangnian would treat Fang like the god of wealth. Keep on dreaming, Wang Changqing scoffed. Anyone could see that Dollar did not have what it took to win. He was just average and far from top 10, let alone winning. Whether you believe it or not, I firmly believe that Dollar will be the champion. Fang Mingquan got up and went away. Idiot, Wang Changqing whispered. He was waiting to see how miserable Fang would be. Han Sen did not go on the Skynet, so he was not aware of the debate about Contest Center. At the moment, he was practicing with Tang Junliu in Fang Jingqi's villa. Although Tang Junliu would not meet Yi Dongmu before top 10, he felt like they were going to meet when they were both top 10 eventually. So, he was still practicing with Han Sen when he had time. Only Han Sen knew that Tang would not counter Yi Dongmu because he would eliminate Yi himself before Yi rose to top 10. But a sparring partner like Tang was so precious that Han Sen was happy to oblige. Having practiced for 2 days, Tang finally let Han Sen go just before the next round of match began. Han Sen knew who his opponent was and did not panic. He had made up his mind to practice in the match and gain some practical experience from his opponent. After all, these were the champions of different shelters and it was such a rare opportunity to fight them one-on-one. Han Sen had not much experience in this kind of matches and was happy that he got a chance to gain some. Super God Gene, Chapter 102. Han Sen had made up his mind to practice Bladestorm in the contest by using Bladestorm only when facing his opponents. If others dared to do this, they might have died a million deaths already. But Han Sen was in Sacred Blood armor, so hardly any attack was fatal to him. That was why he could practice in the contest. Han Sen had given up on using his mutant Sawfish spear. Without good spear skills, this weapon was useless in front of these champions. Fighting opponents of different styles, Han Sen had made great progress and his Bladestorm got better and better. As long as his opponent was not too fearsome, he could always cope with using just Bladestorm, but it was always the Bloody Slayer that got him the victory. This way, Han Sen's matches had become very hard to watch. He was always winning by a narrow margin and there were times it seemed that he was about to lose. And there were 2 matches in which his opponents had already been seriously injured in their last rounds and were thus easily defeated by Han Sen. Everyone thought he got lucky. The negative reports about Dollar were overwhelming. And in particular, the high praise Fang Mingquan sang in Contest Center fanned the flames. Fang Mingquan was talking through his hat. As an evolver who could not even enter First God's Sanctuary, he managed to analyze so much from his reporter's oral account alone. In general, he was saying Dollar was invincible, everything was in control and Dollar would be the final winner. This of course had attracted much hatred toward Fang Mingquan and Contest Center. It chanced that although Dollar's matches were never fun to watch, he had never lost either, which supported Fang's claim. The criticism got worse and worse. Especially those who were optimistic about Yi Dongmu were sniffy about everything Fang said and objected each day. Yi Dongmu was still keeping a formidable record. In 2 consecutive rounds he was able to kill his opponents in one blow, causing many of his following opponents to quit the matches against him. In 3 consecutive rounds, all his opponents threw in the towel, which made Yi's fame peak. Many media were running lengthy features about him and many predicted he would be the final champion this year. He had even stolen Tang Junliu and Lin Feng's thunder. As for the contest center, Fang Mingquan and Dollar, they had become a big joke in the press. Dollar will win had become a popular spoof this year, as an irony, of course. Some people found that Yi Dongmu and Han Sen would meet before one became the chosen and posted the finding on the Skynet, which caused a heated discussion. I sincerely pray every day that Dollar had to keep winning so that he could meet Yi Dongmu, who will teach him what a master looks like. Ha, funny, I agree, God bless Dollar. Bless Dollar. Bless Dollar. ... Bless Dollar had also become a buzzword, and was seen everywhere in the comments of all sorts of programs about the contest. Especially in the online community of Contest Center, Bless Dollar would flood the screen every day. Han Sen knew about this, but did not react at all. He never thought of Yi as his equal. In the Han Sen's view, the likelihood of Yi Dongmu winning Tang was less than 30%, and if Yi met Lin Feng, he would stand no chance. The opponent Han Sen really cared about was Lin Feng. These days he had seen many matches and had a general understanding of most contestants, among whom he felt Lin Feng was the most formidable. This quiet and gentle man made him feel unpredictable. His every move seemed very natural but followed a strange rhythm. Han Sen's prejudgment was quite good, but he was unable to predict Lin's rhythm, which scared him. Han Sen had seen every match of Lin Feng's and almost all the matches were closely fought. Lin was always winning by a small margin. Almost all Lin's opponents performed outstandingly and they all lost nonetheless. It felt so strange that Han Sen cringed. Formidable guy, Han Sen commented. He knew his techniques and strength were both weaker than Lin. Luckily he would not meet Lin before top 10, or else he was not sure if he could become the chosen. Tang was still practicing how to avoid Han Sen's attacks in a close fight. He was not making much progress though. But Lin Feng said if Tang met Yi Dongmu, Yi would not be much of a threat to Tang, which was close to Han Sen's judgment. Yi didn't get the essence of the art of assassination, so he could hardly beat Tang. Perhaps the phrase, "bless dollar," played a role here. In the next rounds, Han Sen's opponents either were badly injured or lost important beast souls in the previous rounds, and some even had accidents in the alliance. It took Han Sen no effort to keep rising. Even Han Sen himself felt quite incredible. Those fans of the Yi Dongmu gave Han Sen another nickname, Lucky D, taunting his lack of real skill. One day, after the end of a match, Han Sen came down from the stage and saw Lin Feng finishing his match as well. Their stages were close, so Lin saw him and to his surprise, walked toward him. Many around them had noticed this scene. After all, Lin Feng was the runner-up last year. Although his performance was not that brilliant this year, he was still a favorite. Also, Han Sen had been the center of attention for a while. Lin Feng approached Han Sen. He smiled and reached out a hand, always wanted to say hello to you, but never had a chance. Same here, Han Sen shook his hand. Lin seemed to be satisfied with this, and said, "See you at the final." Lin turned away, but his words stunned everyone who was listening, as if they had seen a 12.0 magnitude earthquake. Super God Gene, Chapter 103. It turned out to be a 12.0 magnitude earthquake in the press indeed. Lin Feng had asked someone to meet him in the final, yet that someone was not Yi Dongmu, but Dollar, who was considered an imposter. All major media had reported this, and Fang Mingquan from Contest Center was especially excited about it and had analyzed it from all angles. His conclusion was that Dollar was simply great. But obviously the major media and fans didn't share his enthusiasm. They thought Lin Feng wanted to gain popularity by participating in the grandstanding because he was no longer the center of attention. Rubbish. Lin was the runner-up last year, but he had no vision. No wonder he was only the runner-up. Let him keep his ranking and be second to my Yi Dongmu this time. Keep his ranking? You think too much of him. He'd have to be lucky to make it in top 10. Lin and Dollar are just two weak guys feeling bad about themselves. Haha, Yi Dongmu will get rid of Dollar in seconds before he beats Lin to show them who the real king is. What the heck? If Lin was going to see someone in the final, it should be Yi Dongmu. Even if it is not Yi, at least it should be Tang Junliu, right? How is Lucky D relevant? The Skynet had exploded for this matter. However, Lin Feng and Han Sen, the two who had caused it, did not realize this at all. One was enjoying tea with Tang Junliu and Fang Jingqi, and the other was playing Hand of God in the gym of the teleport station. Han Sen had spent all his time playing Hand of God when he was not practicing with Tang. But he had never been able to make another breakthrough. He always had one or two small mistakes with Evolver -4. Han Sen knew that he had reached his limit in both physique and reflexes. If he had no improvement in Geno points, it was impossible for him to go any further. Therefore he decided to take a break from Hand of God. Han Sen acquired 2 daggers and tried to practice sleeve blade with both hands. Although he was not as good as Gambler, he could produce the daggers from his sleeves and put them back skillfully at the moment. Even someone very observant could hardly see his hands move, but it was just a start on sleeve blade. When Han Sen took the daggers back, his hands would shake slightly while Gambler was able to keep his hands perfectly still and retrieve the dirks using only his arm and palm muscles. Han Sen was not even close to that. This misled Han Sen to think that he needed to pass all the levels of Hand of God before he could get somewhere with sleeve blade. After I win tomorrow's match, I will fight Yi Dongmu. If I beat him, I will become the chosen and enter the ranking round, where I will meet Lin Feng, which I actually look forward to. Han Sen recovered his dagger, slowly closed his eyes, and thought about all the matches he had experienced. The next day, Han Sen had an easy victory once again. His opponent still had not recovered from a bad injury and failed to show up. Han Sen walked down the stage and wanted to see Lin Feng's match, but someone stopped him. I hope tomorrow you will have the guts to stand in front of me, because I will kill you. Yi Dongmu said coldly and walked past Han Sen without so much as throwing him a glance. Almost everyone who saw this went crazy. Yi Dongmu's words caused another storm on the Skynet. Basically everyone was guessing if tomorrow Dollar would dare to show up. The majority predicted that Dollar would quit. After all, the difference between the two was huge. Yi Dongmu's performance had been outstanding and he had even killed several celebrity rivals, including Dragon Swordsman, who had the 10th place last year. Dollar, on the other hand, had a rough journey. And he was here more for his luck than for his actual strength. Except for Fang Mingquan, who predicted Dollar would get a total victory, Almost all TV personnel believed Dollar would either quit or die. On the day of the match, the martial rings in all shelters were packed with people who were waiting to watch the match through the sacred steel. This was absolutely the most controversial fight in the entire contest this year, and people called it the fight between the king and the imposter. Almost everyone in First God's Sanctuary was watching, and the number of viewers was even bigger than that of the final last year. The popularity of this match was in part due to Contest Center and Fang Mingquan. Or else there wouldn't be so many people who were paying attention to Dollar, and the media would not have cooked up such a hype. The field reporters all wished to interview Yi Dongmu and Dollar before they started. Although there was no way to record it, it was enough that everyone in the First God's Sanctuary could see it at such a crucial moment. Unfortunately, neither Yi nor Dollar had appeared, but they saw Tang Junliu and Lin Feng. It was hours until their own matches, so they must be here to watch the fight between Yi and Dollar. The clever reporters quickly squeezed over and circled Tang Junliu and Lin Feng. They loudly asked, "Lin Feng, I'm from Contest Front. Who do you think will win this fight?" "Lin Feng, I am from Contest Corner. You said you would see Dollar in the final. Do you still believe that?" "I'm from Contest Center." "Lin Feng, do you and Dollar know each other? Why did you ask him to see you in the final?" Lin Feng quietly smiled. "Haven't I already said that I will see him in the final?" Lin then walked toward his seat and sat down. Those journalists quickly circled Tang Junliu, who was behind Lin, and bombarded him with all sorts of questions. Tang gracefully tossed his hair back and said with pride, "No matter who wins, it will be the same for me, as I will get the first place." He paused, and before the reporters reacted to his comment, he continued, "If you are asking which of the two will win, then of course it's Dollar. Isn't that obvious?" The reporters were shocked. Not only Lin Feng, but also Tang Junliu said Dollar would win, which was the opposite what they had thought. But when they were trying to ask again, Tang Junliu had gone away as well. Only the reporter from Contest Center was overjoyed, who quickly teleported out of God's Sanctuary and reported what Lin and Tang had said. When Yi Dongmu and Han Sen both showed up, First God's Sanctuary went buzzing. The cheers for Yi overwhelmed those for Dollar. In the martial ring of steel armor shelter, "Station Master, do you think Dollar will win?" Yang Manli asked Qin Zan, sitting next to her nervously. "He robbed my quota to go, so I will not forgive him if he's not even in top 10. Qin Zan said fiercely, while knowing that it would be difficult to beat Yi Dongmu, who had shown incredible skills in previous matches. "He will lose for sure. He was simply not on the same level as Yi Dongmu," Son of Heaven said in a cold voice. "I do not want to listen to these words. My Dollar is the best." Displeased, Qing gave his mouth a downward twist and said. He and Yuan had been going to all Dollar's matches. "Whether you like it or not, it is the fact," Son of Heaven said casually. "Didn't you say the same thing last time?" "Well," Qing grinned and asked, leaving Son of Heaven's face darkened. Super God Gene, Chapter 104. On the stage, Yi Dongmu coldly stared at Han Sen and said in a flat voice, "Well, since you dare to come, then get ready to die." Drawing the dagger from his waist, Yi had a murderous look on his face. "Do you think this is some kung fu movie?" Han Sen scoffed inwardly. He didn't believe someone would actually say such dramatic words in real life. Han Sen did not reply, but shape-shifted into the Bloody Slayer, grabbed the hilt of the Shira katana and ran toward Yi Dongmu. The Bloody Slayer had a great speed, and was as fast as a fighter aircraft at its full speed. Instantaneously Dollar was in Yi's face. The viewers all wondered whether Dollar had lost his mind to approach Yi, who was best at close combat. Almost no one could avoid his fatal blow after being approached by him. Wow, Dollar is nuts. He not only approached Yi, but was also using a katana. At least use your spear so that you can keep the distance. A misstep by Dollar. He should have come with a bow and arrows. Even if he doesn't know archery, shooting down from the above is 1,000 times better than getting close to Yi. Yi's fans were overjoyed. This idiot wanders so willingly into Yi's lap. It would be hard not to beat him. Yi Dongmu sneered and shape-shifted into a mutant monkey more than 6 feet tall with a thick tail, which greatly improved his strength and speed. Yi Dongmu had a sacred blood shape-shifting beast soul as well, but it was not similar to the shape of a human body. If he could not use his skills in Sacred Blood Dagger, the Sacred Blood shape-shifting beast soul would do more harm than good. There were few creatures that had the shape close to human, and even fewer that looked human. Except for that Sacred Blood beast soul in the shape of a lady that was awarded to the Chosen, there was hardly any Sacred Blood beast soul that takes human form. Han Sen's bloody slayer was a precious sacred blood shapeshifting beast soul because it had a pair of human hands that allowed him to use all sorts of techniques. Yi Dongmu watched Han Sen bolting toward him and gave his dagger a harder grip. He held the sacred blood dagger backhanded and launched his body at Han Sen. The distance between the two was shorter and shorter. All the moves of Yi Dongmu fell in the eyes of Han Sen, who felt every stretch and twist of his opponent had followed his expectation. He could see through Yi as if Yi was no more than a puppet. Between two assassins, if one was much better, something like this would happen. Han Sen knew everything about Yi while Yi didn't even know Han Sen was good at sneak attacks as well. And that had determined Yi's loss. It did not matter that his speed and strength were both greater than Han Sen. When the two clashed, the katana painted golden by Han Sen moved and was suddenly returned to its sheath. The movements of the weapon were as smooth as floating clouds and flowing water. They continued sliding nearly 30 feet in opposite directions before they stopped. Han Sen's magnificent body was as steady as a mountain, while Yi Dongmu slowly turned around and stared at Han Sen's back. He stressed each syllable. What is that skill called? Bladestorm. Han Sen replied without looking back. I will fight you again. And next time I will not lose. Yi said and walked down the stage. The moment he went down, he fell to the ground with a thump. Blood was welling from a cut in his chest so deep that his bones could be seen. The entire First God's Sanctuary went quiet. Billions of viewers of the match opened their mouths but could not make a sound. No one could believe that the result would be like this. They could accept it if it was the other way, but Yi Dongmu, who was invincible like a king, was defeated by Dollar in one blow. Which was hard to swallow. Not to mention Yi's fans, even Dollar's fans had never thought that Dollar could win like this. Even the optimistic ones believed it would at least take Dollar quite some effort to win. But no one thought that Yi would lose in such a shameful way and in his strong suit, close combat. Han Sen turned his head back and looked at Yi Dongmu, who was struggling to get back on his feet. He said calmly, not bad. You survived a serious strike from me. Han Sen turned away. Not bad, not bad. This sentence blew all the viewers' minds. In the eyes of the public, Dollar's figure suddenly became more and more grand and brilliant. Dollar's fans finally came to realization of what had happened and started shouting and jumping up and down. The silence was broken and the entire First God's Sanctuary became festive. Everyone was talking about this incredible fight. That went down pretty fast. Haha, in your face, Yi's fans. Not just the fans, but also the media in the entire alliance, except for Fang Mingquan's contest center. Y'all thought Yi was gonna win. How about this? He is beat before even getting to top 10. Quote, now think about it, Fang Mingquan sure had some vision. His analysis actually made a lot of sense. We were just blinded by Yi Dongmu's performance and didn't listen. Lin Feng is the visionary one. No wonder he was the runner-up last year. He knew this long ago. Haha, it seems this year it will be between Lin Feng and Dollar. We really owe Fang Mingquan and Dollar an apology. Fang Mingquan was wronged. Not bad. Haha, what a line. A match that took less than 10 seconds had changed Dollar's image completely. What a line. Next time I have to try it. Not bad, you survived a serious strike from me. Tang regretted that it was not him who came up with the line. Super God Gene. Chapter 105. Snap. Wang Chengqing's comlink was smashed by him. Eyes bloodshot, he panted heavily like a hysterical beast. Dollar had beat Yi Dongmu. The public opinion of the entire alliance was suddenly turned over. Contest Center and Fang Mingquan that had suffered lots of criticism were sent to the altar. Lots of people were saying they owe the program and its host an apology. More and more people poured into the contest center to watch Fang Mingquan's analysis. The show had made it into the 8th place in ratings, a record high. Washing Station had never seen such achievement with any show. In the past, the best record they had was the 19th place. Top 10. No one even dared to dream this big. The host would be proud enough if the show was in top 100, and be thrilled if it made top 50. There was no doubt that Contest Center and Fang Ming had both made it. Although Contest Center was a show that would end after the contest, Fang Mingquan's outstanding performance had won him fame. No matter what show he hosts in the future, he would always have great ratings. Now Washing Station considered Fang Mingquan a pillar of the station. Even Shu Kangenian was smiling at him all the time and showering him with compliments, making Wang Chengqing so jealous that he wanted to bite Fang with his teeth. After Fang got off work and returned home, he sat in front of the French window and looked at the view of a busy night with a cigarette between his fingers, taking a puff from time to time. His body was still shaking. Now that everything was over, Fang started to sense some fear. He didn't even believe his own analysis as he didn't even watch the matches. He simply believed in Dollar, the man who moved him by saving the girl, and he thought a man like that must do well. So Fang Mingquan was just betting on Dollar to become the chosen. Whether he could get the first place or not, it was no longer important. The fight against Yi Dongmu and Lin Fang's invite had made Dollar's reputation peak, and Fang Mingquan had also succeeded. Dollar, you really are my lucky charm. Fang Mingquan relaxed and celebrated the fact that he had made the right bet. If he had lost the bet, he did not even dare to think of the result. He was not afraid to lose, but this time too much was at stake. If he had lost, he might have to leave his favorite industry. The puff reached his lungs and an intoxicating feeling started to spread from there. Fang silently looked at the nightscape and his excitement gradually subsided. When all the excitement was gone, Fang Mingquan got up to turn on his smart device. He wrote an article titled, "A King Marches in Loneliness." A king is always lonely. When others are laughing with friends to show off their humor, he is sweating in silence. The king is always lonely. When others are chasing fair maidens, he is bleeding on the battlefield. A king is always lonely. When the whole world is against him, he stared into the front. A king is always lonely. When he is abandoned by all, he is still firmly marching forward, only to realize his dreams afar. I just want to say, Dollar, please accept my allegiance. A loner like me wishes to follow you who are lonely too. You win, I will be with you. You lose, I will be with you. Fang Mingquan finished the article and did not leave his own name under, instead he wrote, "From a loner to the king." When Fang Mingquan uploaded the article on the Skynet, it went viral at an incredible speed, triggering a huge response. Damn, I cried reading this. It reminded me of when I trained hard to be admitted to a military school. Others admired me for being admitted, while they had no idea about the effort I made. I had to train even when I had a fever. It was tough. Fang Mingquan wrote well. I was reminded of the days I struggled in God's sanctuary. This is simply my true portrayal. I am also a loner. Spending at least 28 days in God's sanctuary each month, I just want to work harder so that my family can live better. But I am so tired and I need company. No matter what happens in the future. From this moment on, I am a fan of Dollar and Fang Mingquan's. I will be with both of you, too. Dollar, please accept my allegiance. You win, I will be with you. You lose, I will be with you. Loner +1, I like Fang Mingquan. You follow Dollar, I will follow you. If God gave me another chance, I would never have said anything bad about Dollar. +1, +10,086. Dollar, you are my king. A King Marches in Loneliness had made Dollar and Fang a tremendous success. As Fang became a real celebrity, Dollar had gained many hardcore fans who would not sway easily. Reading the piece himself, Han Sen felt touched, too. During the first 3 months when he had just entered God's sanctuary, the loneliness and helplessness he experienced were maddening. He had gone this far because of his dreams and the people he cared about. If it weren't for his mother and Han Yan, Han Sen might have given up on himself. Han Sen wanted to reply to the article, but he eventually let that thought go. Let us keep marching forward for what we truly cherish. No words could express my feeling. Han Sen silently logged out. Han Sen rested for a while, and decided to check if there was any hyper-Geno art on footwork that suited him in St. Hall. Yi Dongmu's footwork was paired perfectly with his sneak attacks, and the footwork was what Han Sen lacked. If he could practice some footwork to work with his sleeve blade skills, he could reach an even higher level in the combat.